The Whispering Shadows. In the small, misty village of Eldermere, nestled at the edge of an ancient forest, there was a legend that had been passed down for generations. It was said that the forest was alive not with animals or the rustle of leaves, but with shadows that whispered secrets to those brave enough to listen. Few villagers dared to enter the forest, especially after sunset. The stories told of people who wandered too far, only to return with wild eyes and trembling hands, muttering incoherently about the watchers. But for 16-year-old Clara, the forest had always been a place of curiosity, not fear. She had spent her childhood peering through its borders, watching the way the sunlight danced on the trees and wondering what lay deeper within. One crisp autumn evening, Clara decided to find out for herself. Armed with nothing but a lantern and her journal, she ventured into the forest. The air grew colder as she walked, and the usual sounds of the village faded into an eerie silence. The lantern's glow cast long, flickering shadows on the path ahead. As she ventured deeper, Clara began to hear its soft whispers carried on the wind. At first, she thought it was the rustling of leaves, but the sounds grew clearer, forming words that sent chills down her spine. "Seek the heart. The heart will show the truth." "Who's there?" Clara called out, her voice trembling. The whispers ceased, leaving her alone in the oppressive silence, but something compelled her to continue. She followed the trail until she came upon a clearing. In its center stood an ancient tree, its gnarled branches stretching toward the sky like twisted fingers. At its base was a hollow, glowing faintly with an otherworldly light. Clara hesitated, but the whispers returned, urging her forward. The heart. Taking a deep breath, she knelt by the hollow and reached inside. Her fingers brushed against something smooth and warm. She pulled it out to find a crystalline orb, pulsating with light. As she held it, the forest around her seemed to come alive. Shadows danced across the trees, forming shapes and faces that watched her intently. "What is this?" she whispered. The orb grew warmer in her hands, and a voice clearer than the whisper spoke directly into her mind. "You have found the heart of Eldermere. Guard it well, for it holds the memories of the forest and the truth of our people." Before Clara could ask anything more, the shadows began to swirl around her, pulling her into a vortex of light and darkness. When she awoke, she was back at the edge of the forest, the orb still clutched in her hand. The whispers were gone, replaced by a deep, peaceful silence. Over the following weeks, Clara discovered that the orb granted her visions of the past. She saw the village as it had been centuries ago, thriving and harmonious until a great betrayal had torn it apart. The forest had absorbed the pain of that betrayal, becoming the haunted place it was now. Determined to restore the balance, Clara began sharing what she had learned with the villagers. At first, they were skeptical, but as the visions revealed secrets that only the elders remembered, they began to believe her. Together, they worked to heal the forest, planting new trees and honoring the memories of those who had been lost. Slowly, the whispers returned, but this time they were different, gentle, and full of hope. Clara became known as the Keeper of the Heart, a bridge between the village and the forest. And though the shadows still danced in Eldermere, they were no longer feared. Instead, they became a reminder of the power of truth and the resilience of those who dared to seek it.